Hello and welcome to part 3 on how to create a protective wall reinforcement detailing model for a river intake structure using Revit 2026. In the previous video, we discussed on how to place rebar on the slab. And in today's video, we are going to start by placing our rebar at the beam, then the concrete walls. Let's get started. I will go to my ground level view. And from here, we can look at this document to look at the reinforcement details for our beam. If I zoom at the cutoff wall 10, we have our rebar detailing provided here. So at this first rebar set, we have this top layer provided here, and it has a tag of 3Y12, shape code 38, and bar mark 09. On this other side, we have 3 sidebars as detailed here. We also have our stirrups detailed here. And finally, we have our bottom layer here. So we can start to place our reinforcement. And this is how it will look at the section. So we'll have 3. For the top, we'll have 3 as the quantity. And you notice that the bar mark is 09. Then at the side, this will be one rebar set which has 3 for 10, 10, 10. And then we'll have the bottom layer here and the other 3 provided at this side. So we can start by going to the model. I will zoom at the model here. Then I'll go to the view tab. Then I'll select section. We can define our first section like this, from there up to this point here. Then we can choose to drag this back up to there. Now we can double click on the section head to open. And first we'll start by changing the scale to 1:25, the detail to fine, and graphics to wireframe. Now from here, we have our beam here at this section here. So we can go to the structure tab, then select rebar. We can start by first setting the rebars for the stirrups. So from the shape browser, I will scroll, then select shape code 51. So I'll scroll, then we can select shape code 51 or 63 for the stirrups. So I'll select shape 51. And now if we hover over the beam, we see that we can place it. You can also press space to rotate. So if we press space, I'll place it here. Then I'll press escape. If you now select this rebar set, we can go to layout here, change to maximum spacing, then give a spacing value of 200 here. We see that we have 38 as the quantity. So if we go to the ground level, we have the stirrups placed, and we can zoom so as to change or modify the stirrup position or span. So for this last rebar set, I will move it slightly up to this other one here. And I'll also go to the other side. So forgive me for my middle mouse button. We can go to the other side. So I'll have to use the middle mouse button to pan, because as I scroll up and down, it is misbehaving. So I'll select this other side, and we can snap it to this rebar just to leave an allowance or gap here at the end for the hooks. So this is how shapecode 51 is. And if you go to the 3D view, I can go here under the properties. We can go to view visibility states, then edit, and we can select to view unobscured in the 3D view and click OK. We have our stirrups detailed as seen. So if we zoom, we see we have our stirrups. So to change this, I can also go to section 4. While this stirrup is selected, you can click on these 3 dots to launch the Rebar Shape browser. And now if we set to shapecode 63, which is also a stirrup, we'll have it placed like this. So before clicking outside, we can select this end grip and we can move it here. So we see that we'll have this Rebar shape here. And now that the hooks are above, you can press space to change the hook location. So let us see where the A is. Where is A? So I'll press space again. Now it is tied. So I'll press space once again. Now I see here we have the A here. I'll press space again. But for this first, since I'm not, okay, I see the hooks here. We can press space. Now the hook is here. Then press again to bring it to the lower side here, where you see these extra lines. So if you go to 3D view, we now have shapecode 63, and it looks like this at the end. So with this, we can proceed to detail the other rebar. But first, we can also go to the ground level. Then we go to our drawing details so as to input our rebar details. So if I zoom at this, we see that the required number is 37. We have 38. The bar mark is 01. So I'll go to the identity data and I'll give a mark of 01. And for the comments, we can give a comment value of links. Then I'll press enter. Because we have the comment value here, the spacing is at 200, which we have given. But the quantity by Rebar Set here, we have 37. Ours is 38. So to change this to the original one, you can as well drop, then select fixed number. Then we can give it a value of 37 here for the fixed number. Then press enter. So now with that, we can proceed to detail the next Rebar set. So while still in our section here, section 4, I will scroll, then select the shape 00 or 01, which is the straight bars. Sorry, the previous stirrup was still selected, so we can use Ctrl Z to undo. Then I'll select the rebar. Now we can go and select the shape 00 or 01 for straight bars. Now here, we'll need to set the placement to near cover. And for the orientation, let me start with perpendicular to cover. Then now we shall set the layout to maximum spacing of 200 so that we can see the bar orientation. So 200, then enter. And now if we hover, you see, if we hover over like this, we can start to place the rebars. So I'll place one at this side. then click to place. I'll come to this other side, and then I'll click once to place the other rebar set. I'll press escape twice to exit. Now, I can select on this left rebar set, and after we select it, we can use the edit bars to customize this rebar set. So I'll pick on this first, and then hold Control, pick on the last one, and you can use the remove bar. Then hit finish. So now if we select it like this, it is still a rebar set, and the quantity is 3. So we can hit escape. I will select this other one at the right, go to edit bars, select on the first rebar, hold Control, select on the last rebar, then we can use the remove bar. Now you can hit finish. So this one, we have edited the 2 sidebars for each side. We'll now need to place the top and bottom hooks. So for that, we can go to the ground level, and from here, I can start by creating a new section. So I'll go to the View tab, then I'll select Create Section. We can start the section from this point up to this point here. And then I can drag the end of the side. So my mouse is, the scroll button is almost tired, so you'll have to forgive me. So I'll drag this one back up to here, and then I'll click outside to escape. Now we can double click on this section to open the section view. Can start by changing the scale from here to 1:25, the detail to fine, and the display to wireframe. Now we can proceed to place the hooks. I'll go to the Structure tab, then I'll select Rebar command. From here, I will select shape code 21. Ensure that the rebar type is Y12 from the properties here. And now, again, under the placement, we'll set to current work plane, then parallel. And now, if we hover over the cover, you can see that we can place the rebar, and it will automatically expand to host. So for here, we also see that I left the layout under maximum spacing. So I'll place one like this at the bottom, then hover up, and then I'll place the next one at the top. I'll press escape, then select the top rebar. For this one, we can use the align command to align it to the lower rebar. So I'll select here align, then I'll select this face, then I'll come, then select the face of this rebar. So I'll select this rebar here, this face. So that one, I press escape. So it has not moved, so I'll do it again. I'll pick on the rebar, or even we can use this grips to drag it up to here. So we can use here, and we can drag it to the midpoint there. I'll go to the other side, select the endpoint, using this grip, then we can drag it up to the midpoint of this other rebar and release to place. So now that we have both the top and the bottom one, we see that this one has a B value of 7320, and if I hit escape, I select this one, the B value is also at 7320. So now I'll hold Control, then select the top rebar. And now notice that we have the two sets have been selected. Now from here under the properties, we can go and set the A and C values. But before that, we can just briefly go to the ground level, then look at the details for the A and B values for bar mark 09. So we found that A and B is 200, 200. C here was 7285. Ours is 7320. So that which means ours has been rounded off. So for that one, we now have the two bars selected. So we'll go to A and I'll change it to 200. C, we can also give it a value of 200. For B varies, that means that one of the bars is longer than the other. So we'll go back and fix it. We can go to the identity data. And now here we're giving it a mark of 09. And for the comment, we can give it the B2T2, because at the top here we have the slab reinforcement provided here. So this one will take it to the interior layer. So with that done, I will hit escape. I'll then go back to the section. Now I'll select the top set. If you select the top set, notice that the quantity is 13. So we'll go to the ground level and I'll zoom at the model. So apparently my middle mouse button is not working okay. But I will see in the next video to get a new mouse. So with this Rebar Set here, I will hold its endpoint, this one, then drag it into the beam. I will then drag it like this up to the beam. Now we see that we have both sets here. This one starts here. And also at this other end, we can drag it, select the grip, then drag it inside, so that they are within the stirrups. So with that, we can go to section 5. And we see that we have our top and we have our bottom rebars. So if you go to ground level, okay, I'll need to change the positioning of my views, section view, so as to see the sidebars. I'll move it behind like this, so that we can view the sidebars in section also. So if we go to section 5, we can now see even with the sidebars. So this is how we detail beams. Also, now for the top side here, so as to remove the clash, I will select on this top rebar, and then I'll go to Edit Constraints. From here, I will select the middle handle, select the dimension, then give a value of -12, just to bring it below this other rebar set. Now we can hit finish. After changing, I'll save the project. After editing the constraints here, it is important to update the values of A and C. So we'll go here and we'll set it back to 200. And also for C, we're going to set it to 200. Okay, now here under the B value, we see that this one is 7317.9. Okay, and if we go and I select the bottom rebar set, I can click on tab Then I select it, and we see that the B value is 7320. So I can highlight and copy it, then select the top Rebar set, and I will give it the same B value here, then hit apply. So after editing the B value, it is important to check the endpoint now of this set. We see it is okay. So in case I draw a detail line, I'll press DL for detail line. I can start at this endpoint, and we see that they are still not aligned with the lower bar. So, but it has a very minimal change. Okay, so that one I can hit escape. Then you can go and look at the other side. So this one, I can see that it is okay for this side. Also, what we can do, we can use the align command. So I'll select align. I will pick the midpoint of the lower, select this for the lower rebar, then pick the midpoint of the top rebar. That will align both rebar sets. I can also come and do the same to the other side. I will zoom at this other side. I will select the mid reference of the lower rebar, and then I'll select the top mid reference of this top rebar set and hit escape. Now if I select these two rebar sets, the B values should be the same. So I've selected both, and if you go to properties, now we don't have varies here. We have the same value of 7320 here. So with that I can press escape, and just for confirmation, if I select the top set, then go to identity here, it is okay. We have the mark and the comment. So I'll press escape to exit. So if you go to 3D view, I will pick on any rebar set, right click, then go to select all instances visible in view. Now we can go here to the view visibility states. Then we select edit. Then we can check the view unobscured in 3D and press OK. I'll press escape, and we have also our rebar for the beam. So this is how we detail beams using Revit 2026. So I wanted to proceed to the next step, which was reinforcing the walls. But someone informed me that long videos are not good. So I can stop this one here, and let's meet in the next video as we discuss on how to place reinforcement at the concrete walls. In case you are watching this channel for the first time, kindly take a second or two, hit the subscribe button, so that when I produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I would like to thank you all for the continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Before we finish up, we can go to the section view, and this one, section 4. Then we are going to give the rebar details for the sidebars. So I'll zoom back to the drawing details, and then from here we can read the sidebars here. So we see that this comment will be sidebars, and the mark is 10. So we can go to the section 4. I will select on this rebar set, for the sidebar, hold Control, select this other Rebar Set. Now with the two Rebar Sets selected, we can go to the properties now, then edit the parameters. So under the identity data, we are going to give it a mark of 10. And for the comments, we can give it a comment of sidebars. Then enter. Press OK to accept. Now that we have the comments for these ones, we can also go and modify this Rebar Set at the top. So we see that at the top here, this one, it should be inside the stirrup hook. So I can select it within this view, and let's try to edit the constraints. So if I select on the middle handle, I will select it again, and then for this one, I'm going to give it a value of -24, so as to bring it inside the stirrup. So -24, then enter, then I'll hit finish. Now we see that this one is inside the stirrup. I can now drag these ones in to the stirrup, or we can use the edit bars command. I'll select edit bars, then I'll pick on this last bar, then I'll use the move. I'll select it from here, then you can move at a distance of, let's say, 15 up to somewhere here. I can click outside, then I'll select this other one. I'll select the move command, then pick here, and I'll move it at a distance of about 15. Now we can hit finish. Now this top Rebar Set has been modified. We can do the same for the bottom side. I will zoom at the lower side, pick at this Rebar Set. Then from here, we can use the edit bars command. I will select this last rebar, then use the move command. We can now, I'll select, then use the move command. And now we can drag it this way at a distance of about 15. We can select this other end bar, then use the move, select this endpoint, and then we can move it at a distance of 15, then press enter. I will click here to finish. Then we can save the project. So if we zoom out to the beam, we see that we have detailed this beam just as discussed from the structural drawings here. So here the top bars are 09. We have 3 tenths here, 3 tenths here, and 09 at the bottom. So that's it for this video. Hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And in case you are watching this channel for the first time, kindly take a second or two, hit the subscribe button so that when I produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. That's it for this video. See you in the next as we discuss on how we are going to place reinforcement at the walls. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.